I'm Kelly Tito.
Are you? You almost forgot.
No, go.
I'm Nick. Tito.
And this is our little girl, Charlotte Grace Tito. She was born April 1st and she's gonna be 7 months tomorrow. We are dedicating Charlotte because ultimately she's God's and not mine or not ours. God has just given her to us as a gift.
So I think it's a good reminder that she's not, she's not our creation.
Yeah.
She's not our property. She's not ours to craft. She's ours to steward.
Yeah.
Rather than make.
I want Charlotte to be ultimately a Christian, someone that follows God, but I want her to seek it for herself. So I want her to be a truth seeker and ultimately realize that what this world has to offer, all the sin in it and evil, that's yucky, and that instead she wants God. She wants righteousness. She wants holiness, grace, kindness, all the fruits of the Spirit. I want her to figure that out, but not because I told her or because it's what we do or the right thing to do, but I want her to seek that truth herself.
Is it Matthew 7?
Yeah.
Matthew 7, like 19 through 23. In a nutshell, he says, it's not so much that you know me, it's that I know you. And that's kind of sobering. Mm-hmm. Even to me, like being, I think I'm Christian, but it's sobering to make sure that the stakes are high. Mm-hmm. We want her to know the seriousness of eternity. When it comes to like career, I could care less.
Couldn't care less.
Correct. I couldn't care less when it comes to career. The Bible doesn't call us to careers, it calls us to Jesus.
Yep.
My relationship with God, that made me think of James 1:6 or 1:8, where he says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And it just reminds me of even after professing Christ with my mouth and loving him with my heart, at that point I still was double-minded. And just looking around at my past and then looking at the men who I want to model after being a father, and then the men that I don't want to model after being a father, stability is, as a dad at least, the bedrock that I want to give her. And I know that the Lord's way is the way to be stable.
We prioritize God first, even if it's easier in life for me to, continue working and maybe not be with her as much or not be able to raise her as much because, money sounds nice, but to ultimately know that God's going to take care of us. And if God has spoken that that's not the case and I should stay home and be with her,
which he has,
that we're going to make those tough choices ultimately because God comes first, not because something's convenient or easier in a worldly way, but that we're going to prioritize God and what he's called us to do. And same thing with our marriage. So I hope she sees through our marriage that even though there might be difficult times or hard times, that ultimately we submit everything to God, and that means our marriage too.
Yeah,
I want her to see a Jesus love.
Right, I don't want to tell her how to be a Christian, I just want to show her.
I can't think of a better place that I would want support and to have Charlotte plugged in and involved and us as a family involved, just because we know that that's what's going to keep us grounded in good seasons and bad seasons, that we're going to have support, whether it's friends from life group or friends from serving on the same team. We're going to have those people to go to. And if we make a wrong decision or a bad decision, they can call us out and say, hey, no. This is what God says to do. And so what are you doing? I want that kind of accountability and love and help. I know it's helped my mom and my grandmother as single parents all these years. The church was really the only thing that helped them get through, whether it was for them emotionally or even physical needs.
I work with a lot of old people, elderly people, and oftentimes they're from group homes or nursing homes, and they'll have a sitter that's paid to just be with them at the hospital. And that's a tough job. But what I've noticed is every sitter, whether, no matter their heart, which I'm sure is in a great place, eventually ends up on their phone watching a movie or playing a game. And when you see loved ones, it's rarely the case. You see the loved one pacing back and forth, sitting in the chair, not sleeping. I mean, they'll stay there hours and hours and hours and hours, obviously unpaid. And that's what church at Skyline feels like, is I can call on people that, we're bonded by something that's not just mutually beneficial. We're not just friends. We're actually the eyes, the ears, the mouth, the feet, the arms of the church. I know when we first moved to Skyline, I mean, we went to one service, I think, at that point. We moved in January 2020. And then a week later, you showed up to a small group and they threw you a giant...
Yes, a baby shower.
A giant baby
I was pregnant
shower.
with this little one.
Yeah.
And I came home and I was like, Nick, these people don't even know me. And they get me cards, like personal cards with scripture, gifts. And I was like, come on. I couldn't imagine buying a gift for someone I didn't even know. I mean, and they showered me with gifts. And I instantly felt so loved, for sure. And I want to make sure that as much as I'm utilizing the families in Skyline and Pastor Chris and Lori and just everyone there, that we can also be a resource for other families.
Yeah.
So I want to also take, but I also want to give too. So I hope too that we can help a family along the way or whatever the needs are.
Yeah, it's a family.